Good day. I'm here on behalf of the RSA, the Robot Security Agency. We investigate robot incidents. We are well aware that your company produces courier bots. I want you to know that we've got our eyes on you. Yeah. What a nice introduction. I'm very happy to meet you as well. Alright guys, hello and welcome back to the Good Company campaign, and welcome back to Bet on Bots with me, Spacefish. Now, as you guys may remember in the last episode, we went ahead and got this huge setup going, basically starting the production from 0 to 100 with all the parts that we now need for our very new courier bots. And this stuff we already read through, so let me just skip that real quick. Now, as you guys can see right here, we only have 4 employees so far for all the stuff that we have. And issue there being that we are slightly out of employees on the open market right now, so we don't even have anybody that we could hire. And I also have to say I like how Seudis prefers to go all the way back there with the chemicals instead of just supplying the dudes that are already in there. But I think what we should do is we should fast forward a bit just to kind of firstly hire another employee right here, because this is madness. And secondly, then hopefully get a few more employees out on the open market that we can hire to build us the stuff that we need. So slowly but surely, while we're speeding this up, I'm gonna employ all the guys that I can. I'm gonna try and do it so like the products that are the lowest in the line are gonna be made first, and we can then sort of get the production going one after another that way. We are losing quite a bit of money right now, just because like everything has to get fired up for a start. And yes, no more employees, great. Just because everything has to get fired up for a start, and we're spending a lot on hiring. We are obviously already paying all the wages. We are paying all the material costs, paying for getting everything else started, while not even being close to finishing the first bot just yet. So yeah, kind of a bunch of stuff to catch up on here, but I'm thinking we are getting a bunch of new employees. We will need employees for these logistics points. I think that should probably be the priority if I can click it. Yes, there we go. And that should be all the logistics points covered there. Now I'm gonna get another 2 for this one. And I think one of the assembly tables still is without employee. Yes. Does this one have an employee? It does. All these do have employees in the upper left corner here. All these right here do seem to have employees. And now we just seem to be out of mats, so I think let me just hire one more logistics worker to make sure that all the inputs materials will be there. Plentiful. Okay. Cool. Other than that, I think I'm actually stocking up on the amount of materials that I'm ordering, just to make sure that the logistics workers do have enough stuff to actually spread amongst these tables, because I think we're missing a few basic input materials at multiple spaces right now. So that's a bit of an issue. Bunch of stuff getting finished here. Just these, for some reason, not reaching these guys yet. Why are we not getting any... I think the medium DC motors are just starting to be produced now. Are we still lacking employees for this basic input zone here? Or are we just like... I think what we actually need to do here, as far as I can see, these guys are super low on metal. So let's up this to 120, because we have the space in there anyways. And see if that kind of fixes it a bit for us. I really don't know. The metal rod guy is also missing metal like crazy apparently. Maybe we will need yet another employee here for like the input zone coverage, which would be crazy, but then again you got to kind of think these guys have to move all the way out there to give to put some inputs in there partially, so it is quite the long way for them to move. So maybe that is going to be the case. And actually we have got 2 courier bots in here that have not been delivered for sale yet, and I'm just wondering, do we? Yes. Oh no, wait, we've got our first courier bots right there on the pallet, so theoretically, hopefully, we should be selling our first few very soon. Now, looking at market demand, we'll be able... There we go, good stuff. Looking at market demand, we'll definitely be able to sell all the courier bots that we're making, so that's hopefully going to be great. Now we just need to hit our target of 10 a week, which means that we will, well, we'll just need our logistics workers to catch up on the necessary inputs, and there we go. First target done. Then I was not the one to actually finish the finish the campaign preemptively, as I had thought in the last episode. So definitely more stuff to do. Oh no, it's happened again. Another rival spot in Plumville ran over a dog. Oh no. Fortunately, the little pooch wasn't badly hurt. Okay, that's great to hear. But after that incident, there's someone here who wants to speak with you. Seems highly official. Good day. I'm here on behalf of the RSA, the Robot Security Agency. We investigate robot incidents. We are well aware that your company produces courier bots. I want you to know that we've got our eyes on you. Yeah. What a nice introduction. I'm very happy to meet you as well. Shigon, my, what a shady encounter. Did you see her expensive watch? Do you think she could have been bribed by a rival company? We should be extra careful. I guess we should continue as normal for now. Let's expand in the delivery drone market as quickly as possible. So, we want to spend 15 basic research data per day now, which means that I think we should just do that over here then, honestly. We just don't have the space for anything else, really. So we could maybe just have a conveyor that pushes out some basic input materials right here. Kind of limited on space here, which I really dislike somewhat, but no real way to change. Wait, there is a way to change the placement of this thing, isn't there? We can do this, and that's not going to block anyone, which means that that guy will have to move like a millimeter further for his logistics, but that's fine, I think, and that will open up like all the spaces that we could ever need right here. So before we actually set up like any sort of researchy stuff, I will just put myself a basic workbench right here, and I will just go and grab myself a few of those gears, or just like a stack of them, honestly, and a stack of those rods, which will disrupt my production a bit, I'll give you that, but it's fine for me. What we should also do, by the way, I think, I'm just upping the space in there for the rods to ensure that he can produce a bunch ahead of time. And then I'm going to get myself like 2 stacks of plastic as well, and I'm just going to speed myself right over here, and I'm just going to work on making a few conveyor belts. I'm just going to queue 12 for the time being, but let me see how many we need. So we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then like 4 on top, right? I think we'll need 11 to actually get this going, because as far as I'm... Oh no, actually roller band only needs 3, so we should be fine with 10. I'm just going to keep this sped up for a second. We did have enough for 12, I think, so we should be fine to be making... I mean, honestly, we can just make 12 just to make sure that we have enough. And these guys are low on medium DC motors again, which is interesting, but that could just be caused by me taking stuff out of the production chain there. Then again, we're still missing metal everywhere. That's crazy. Okay, well, anyways, we're at 12 conveyor belts. I may have to fix that soon, but for the time being, let me carry on by going into construction mode, placing a conveyor belt from here to here, just like that, and then just a roller band as an in right there. And we've got 3 left. Okay, that's great. So, what I would then want to do, I would like to place a chemistry table somewhere close, and actually, could you just... I don't want to waste any space is the issue here. So I'm not sure if the workers can pick stuff off from the sides. I think they should be able to. What I want to do here, right, is just make battery stacks. Actually, I mean, the issue with battery stacks is that I need chemicals, I need plastic, and I need metal, but I need them in disproportionate amounts, right? I need more chemicals, and I need plastic or metal. So that could become an issue, and that could lead to this belt clogging up. So maybe I'm just going to do single cell batteries and be like, whatever. And I'm just going to make... Do I even want to make two? Yeah, let's do 2 tables, both with single cell batteries right here. I'm going to place a logistics connection here already for people to put chemicals onto this belt right there, so that already fills up. And then once we have that, right, I will be placing a small shelving rack right here, just like that, where these can flow into. And we will then need some analysis tables right here. So do we want to just close it in like that maybe? No, we can't even close it in like that. Okay. Moving that around a bit then. Do we want to do it like this? And then like that. I think that's pretty fine. I'm not even sure, like maybe we're overproducing with this, so let's start with 1 employee right here that can do that. Let me set up the logistics real quick. So this goes in here, that goes in there. The other 2 I've got to set up in a second. Let's see how he's doing it. I hope that he can just pick it up from the side here. So that shortens the way that... Yeah, he can. Okay, so that means he doesn't have to move very far, which is great. I'm going to preset the single cell batteries right here. And get some employees for this place. And then I'll just set up this logistics connection right here. And we're going to see how these guys are going to be doing for like input frequency and like... Okay, they need like... Yeah, I think honestly, judging by the time they need to research this stuff, maybe 1 chemistry table is actually kind of enough. Question being, how much are they going to be able to even research per day? And I'm not sure about that one. So they need 20 seconds. Where do we see any frequencies? The thing is, I don't know how long a day actually is. Wait, I can maybe check it out like this. So 4 seconds is 0.27 days. So I would think that like 15 seconds somewhat are like 1 day probably, right? So yeah. Kind of way below that. We would at least need another 2 analysis desks to even get close to the amount of research needed for our goal. So let's do that. Let's put another 2 analysis desks right here. Let's put a small shelving rack right there, and get some logistics going here. So logistics point, maybe right here. That seems to be covering everything. Then we can have a connection over here going, and then we will need to preset these, hire somebody for that, preset this, hire somebody for that. Actually quite a lot of logistics to do, not logistics, but research to do, isn't it? Looks pretty expensive to me so far. But there we go then, and then we'll just need like a logistics worker for this. And let's see how this is going to work out. Oh wait, do you guys have your connections? You don't. Whoopsie. Sorry for that. But there we go. Okay, so that's covered then, theoretically, hopefully. And let's see if that's going to be enough. Actually, I probably didn't even need this. I just need to spend it. I don't need to generate as much, right? I could have just pre-generated a bit and then, well, whatever. Okay, so we've got some research now. Let's just get some research desks in here as well. I'm going to place one right here. I think I'm going to place the other maybe right here. Just like that. And we can hire somebody for this one. This one I think I'm just going to use for myself right now for the time being. And let's start research. What can we research then? I mean, it looks like the radio link is the only thing we can research so far. Well, I mean, there's like a few other things up here. Really not quite sure which thing we would want. I'm just going to start on this one, honestly. Then I can go and do this. And let's see if we can spend enough research per day this way, or if we actually need another table and another employee for that. It looks like we need more. Yeah, okay. Can I stop? Thank you. Let's build one more research desk then. Which, that one is then going to be my own. Can you make this somewhat space efficient? I think that's fine. So, 1 employee for this one. I'm going to be going back to this one, start researching, and that should get us to our required target. Just like that. Cool, good stuff. I see. Your company's preparing to launch delivery drones soon. A very clever move. Are you trying to avoid our... What a lovely lady! What a lovely lady! Great. It's RSA inspectors giving me the creeps. We've had no reported incidents with delivery drones so far, but we should be proactive. Make sure all of our drones use safety fuse Mark 1. That will be one less thing to worry about. Okay, so now we want to do delivery. Oh my god, does that mean I'll need a whole nother setup for this thing? I think it does, doesn't it? 10 delivery drones a week with safety fuse Mark 1 installed. Wow, okay. Crazy. Okay. Let me firstly then maybe check out what we need for that. I mean, we could... No, I don't think I want to swap this delivery thing... Well, this thing over, right? So... Let's create a new design for now, one way or another, of a delivery drone. We'll have different options, and I'm not sure what's the right one so far. We are so far making metal chassis, I think, so let's maybe try and work with that for the time being. It does seem like Metalbot chassis are actually the worst option though. Maybe we want to do plastic instead? Plastic sundries are really not that complicated, to be honest. So we could do that, and these are pretty complicated. I think let's do plastic bot chassis, because they're not really more complicated than Metalbot chassis, I don't think. And well, they have more space, so that's obviously a good part. Other than that, they don't have that much rigidity, obviously. They have less heat loss, but they have less noise pollution as well, which is great. And they have an environmental impact, so like they've got a bit of everything, but I don't know, let's try that. So, we will need speed, storage, battery life, data transmission. Okay, so we need to finish this research first before we can actually go for that. Small compartment. We would need speed, so it's DC motors again, isn't it? Could do a medium DC motor again. Yep. That will work nicely. Or we could do 2 smalls. I don't know, I mean... That would require... Would it require more input materials that way? I wouldn't really say that it's that much... It doesn't look more expensive per se. And I think it doesn't really make much of a difference for us, right? If we have 2 small DC motor productions and 2 medium DC motor productions, or just 4 smalls. So with 2 small DC motors, we could better fulfill the speed requirements at kind of the same price for us. So I think let's go that way, unless we have any issues with the drawbacks right here. We'll see about that. Other than that, we've got battery life, and we have a double battery stack in the other one, which would get us to 0.7, or we could do standard battery stacks, which would get us right to 0.6. I think let's do that. I think that's the more optimal solution in this case as well, because it doesn't over-fulfill the requirement for us, and we need 1 less table because we don't need the plastic parts for this. Then again, we would already have the plastic parts from the case probably, but I think let's do it this way. I think that's fine, as long as we can fit everything in. That's probably going to be the biggest challenge right here. We've got 30 slots instead of the 28 for the Metabot chassis, so I'm kind of hopeful that we can, but we're going to have to see, because these safety fuses need a lot of space, so I'm going to have to see now. This is going to be our preliminary blueprint, and then we're going to have to see when we have this thing researched what we will actually make of that. But I'll just call that like, I don't know, courier, no, not courier bot. Delivery drone Mark 1. Just like super uncreative with the naming as always. Well, because, you know, that's in campaign mode, I don't really care too much about that. So, anyways, with that said, guys, I think we're gonna just, I'm just gonna complete the research here real quick. I'll place a quick cut for you dudes, and I'll be right back with you. Alright guys, and back we are. Research is done. So that means we can now finalize our blueprint for the delivery drone Mark 1, and then I'll actually have to find out where I want to do all this. This thing, by the way, looks pretty funky. I don't think I've actually finalized any design on that yet. So we can probably look into that too, but for the time being, we're going to have these simple AM radio links. We're going to need plastic parts for that, but we need those for the chassis production as well, so that should be fine. Circuit boards are rather simple. Integrated circuits, I think I've already made them once in the campaign, and I hope they were not too complicated. Oh god, why? Okay. So this one is a bit annoying. Maybe we can squeeze it in there by upgrading this to an actual double battery stack then. Let me try that out. Yeah, I think we should be able to. This is the inverse though of what we need, isn't it? Well, in that case, we theoretically, yeah, I think that should work then. Now we should have the space to fit this in. Cool, and there we go. That's all the requirements met, everything in there that we need. And a lot of new things to produce. It's going to be a crazy one to set up as well. It's going to be a start to finish setup once more. It's going to be a lot of work. And I think this one now was the first target required to finish the campaign preemptively without all the trophies. Well, this mission preemptively without all the trophies. So, yeah, it's going to be a lot of work. But let's finish that design. No, actually, no. Okay. Well, it looks like we're not going to change the design of this drone, which is fine. I mean, we can maybe do that in free play sometime then, when we actually get to this in free play. For the time being, though, let's find out how we can do this. I would like to maybe set everything up in here, because we're definitely not going to have enough space in here. Like, I mean, just look at this first production line, right? That's not going to be enough. Not going to be enough. This does have an incoming and outgoing zone, so that's great. Only costs us 25k as well, so it's not actually too bad. And there we go. Okay, a whole new building for all our new endeavors, and it does look like we're limited to these three, so I hope that whatever comes after this is not going to require too much more space from us, because otherwise we could end up with quite a bit of trouble. But first things first, I am going to order a bunch of stuff here. I'm just going to make sure to actually order like 2 of everything that we could potentially need. I'm not actually sure we need glass though, to be honest, so let's get rid of that. And other than that, just like 2 stacks instantly, just to make sure that we don't run into the same issues as we did up here. And then, well, one thing after another to set up now. I think we're going to start with the chassis, as we did with the other one. So let's kind of look what we need for those cases. We have them over here. Okay. And we need plastic sundries, which means plastic parts. Then rods. Okay. So that's not too complicated then. Now, what we're going to have to bear in mind is that, as with this setup, we're going to end up with 2 assembly tables in the very end. Which, speaking of which, I think I'm just going to place the final assembly right here, because I kind of like just having the final assembly close to the output zone. I think that does make some sense. I'm just going to place them right here, and then we can have like a big shelving rack right there that they feed off of. So, well, I guess that's already taken care of here. Cool. Can actually already set the recipes up as well. That's going to be the final step. But that's really something for us to worry about a bit later, I feel. What we're definitely going to need, though, is a logistics point that reaches all this stuff. So I'm going to place that one right here. That reaches incoming, outgoing, and this big shelving rack, which is great. And then we can start setting up all the other stuff. So I think we're going to start with like cases right here. Then we can use these spaces for like other things. I'm not quite sure. Let me check back blueprints. What we actually kind of need for modules. So we've got 1, 2. Okay, so I think, I mean, we're going to have to see what makes sense. The double battery stacks are probably going to be here close to the cases because we need those plastic parts. Not sure if this one needed plastic parts, to be honest. This stuff all does not need plastic parts. So safety fuse and simple AM radio link. Let me check out these modules real quick. Where are we at? We've got the double battery stack. I knew we have got safety fuses. No, that was not the right thing to click. Safety fuses. Okay, safety fuses doesn't need plastic parts. This thing does. So I think simple AM radio links, double battery stacks, and the cases are all going to sit in here. Then we're going to have to motors, the compartments, and the fuses in here. That makes the most sense probably from a logistical standpoint. But okay, let me get this going. So I can't zoom in anymore. That's kind of a bit annoying, but it's going to have to be the way that it is. I would like to actually not put this thing in the corner, to be honest, because I think that just slows me down logistically. I think let's start here for the time being. This is going to be doing the plastic parts. And actually, okay, let me think of how to best design this. The thing is, this is not quite streamlined, so maybe we can actually, no, okay, let's do it differently. I think we can actually move this thing in the corner here, and we are going to have another basic workbench over here that's going to do the rods, and then we are, well, we're going to have 2 final assembly workbenches, right? Maybe. I think we can have these specialized workbenches, well, not specialized, but these like general workbenches, right, that produce parts for many of these things, somewhere in these corners. And we can just have logistics workers carry them over, and then we're going to streamline the rest a bit more in turn. So I'm going to go get the plastic bot chassis in here, then we're going to make a small shelving rack right here to kind of have them share their stuff. Same old design as over in the other place, pretty much, just to shorten the logistics ways as much as possible for these dudes so they don't have to move much whatsoever. And then we're going to place like small shelving racks right here and here for these dudes to kind of instantly put stuff into. Cool. So, I mean, that's already the chassis setup, isn't it? We're just going to need the logistics now. So, pretty much the way it's going to be plastic parts in there. Metal rods in there. Then we're going to need the metal rods over there. Same thing as before, by the way. I'm going to up these bandwidths because there's nothing else that's going to be in there. So we may as well just have some space for them to have like some extra good, some extra inputs to feed off of, and some extra output space to put into, because they're not going to be doing anything else with these small shelving racks, so why not give them some extra space. Now all this stuff flows into here then, and we actually need something else for this, right? Uh-oh. Ha! I forgot about something. Okay, I need plastic sundries. That's a bit of a whoopsie. And I think that means we will need a bit of redesign right here. So what I'm going to be doing instead, I think, so I'm going to be moving these things, well, I'm going to be moving these things up here. Then we can we? The thing is, we're going to need to get a worker into there before we can kind of close it off potentially. Let's kind of have a worker walk over there for a second. Come on, guy. I'm just going to close this guy in, I think. Could you just move over like that tiny little bit, mate? That would be great. If I put a workbench like in his face, is he just gonna move? Actually, this doesn't even work the way that I wanted it to. Actually, no, it does. I just need to move this small shelving rack over here, I think. And it does not work until that worker is in there too. But then I can move this thing over too. Actually, let's not cramp it up that much, shall we? Let's just move this over by one. Just like that, okay. Then we're going to do this. Yes, that's good. Then we're going to move this thing over here. And now we're going to close it off anyways. Actually, we don't need to. If we do this, this is fine. Everybody can just move around. Let's just do it like that. I think that's fine. So, we are going to... Oh! Wait a second, what table do I actually need for that? Where do I make these plastic sundries? Do I need a tinker table for plastic sun? Oh god. 0.67 days for plastic sundries. I hope you're going to make a lot of these, dude, because, like, if you won't, that means I need another tinker table. That means, like, my whole idea of how to do this is going to be messed up again. I would like to avoid that if possible. So plastic sundries, he's making 50 every 0.67 days, and these things need 20 every. Okay, we're good. We are. Are we good? What's the production frequency? We are good. Cool, good stuff. So fixing that then, these things do not go in there, but they actually go into this production right here. We're gonna need metal as well. And that metal will need to go into this production. Then we'll have the plastic sundries, which go out. And actually, should I have this guy put... No, I think... Do we want to move it over by logistics worker? Or should he just put it right in there? I think if he puts it right in there, that will mean that he has to go... That extra meter that will slow everything down again. He's overproducing a bit, though. So let's actually... Let's just have him put that in there, honestly. I think that's fine, because he's overproducing by a good margin. I think it's like 20%, so that should be doable. Okay, cool. Well, that's the first part of this production setup, but with that said, and looking down at the time of this episode, we are already very well over time again, so I will have to end this episode here. I do hope that you guys enjoyed the episode. If you did, please make sure to hit that like button down below. That always does help out the channel. And if you're new to the channel and would like to stay around for more of these videos, please consider hitting that subscribe button and the bell icon right next to it to stay up to date on all my future upcoming videos. And with that said, guys, as always, I would like to thank you all very much for watching, and I hope I'll see you in the next one. Ciao.